You can almost smell it. Dawn in a pagoda kitchen. The metallic clatter of pots. A kettle beginning to hiss. Distant chant folded into the morning air. Who keeps the alms bowls full, and why does it matter? Today we will follow the steam and the stories behind every shared bowl.
Welcome to Ancient Echoes, where we explore the living threads of Cambodian culture. I'm Rachana Sol, and I'm delighted to sit with Samnang and three guests who know pagoda kitchens from the inside out.
I'm Sam Nang Bradley. Today our guests include May Kim, who has coordinated volunteers in temple kitchens for decades, Venerable Thai Dara, who oversees communal meals at a large monastery near Siem Reap, and Dr. Elena Park, a food anthropologist who studies how offerings and feeding rituals shape communities.
Good morning. It is a joy to speak about the kitchen. Many people think only of shrines, but the kitchen is where we live our practice. I will talk about how we cook, who comes, and why a pot of rice is more than rice. Thank you for having me. From a monastic view, feeding the community is both care and teaching. Food nourishes the body and binds relationships. I will share how meals are organized and what they mean in daily practice.
Hello, everyone. My research looks at how ritual provisioning, things like almsgiving and communal meals, structures social obligations and identities. I'll offer context on how these practices adapt in cities and across diasporas.
We promised an immersive opening, so let's set the scene. Dawn, steam rising, a long table with stacks of ladles and stainless bowls. May Kim, tell us, who arrives first and how does the day begin?
At the temple, we rise before sunrise. The youngest volunteers sweep the courtyard. Elders sort rice and fish. The head cooks check the donation box. Sometimes it is full of fresh vegetables from neighbors, sometimes just rice. We greet each gift like a friend, and then decide the menu together.
That communal decision-making is important. From the historical side, pagodas have long been sites of mutual support. Lay communities provide food, and the monastery provides schooling, care, and a communal focus. Venerable Dara, could you sketch how the daily meals fit into monastic rhythm?
Monks traditionally eat twice a day. We rise, chant, and then the first meal is shared. Later, we have a simple midday meal. Food is offered by lay people as an act of generosity, merit. The kitchen coordinates donations so that all who come to the pagoda, monks and visitors, are fed respectfully and without waste. It's useful to remember that meals are both ritual and social infrastructure. Anthropologically speaking, kitchens distribute obligations. They make visible who gives, who organizes, and how reciprocity is performed. This is how communities repair bonds and teach obligations across generations.
Segment 1 clear. The kitchen has a social institution, not just a place to cook. Let's move behind the stove. May Kim, listeners want to picture the food. What are typical dishes, and how do you manage large quantities without losing flavor?
We start simple: rice porridge in the morning, boiled fish, fresh vegetables, sometimes a sweet rice treat for festivals. For large groups, we use big woks and long wooden paddles, and we layer flavors with fish paste, lemongrass, and tamarind. It is technique and care, stirring, tasting, adjusting salt. Volunteers are taught small rules so food is consistent. You mentioned volunteer training. Can you tell us how labor is organized? Rotations? Who tends to food safety when everyone is learning on the job?
We have rotations. Families sign up for a week, younger people help heavier tasks. The head cook always supervises knife work and fire. For safety, we separate raw from cooked, keep hot foods hot, and cool foods quickly when needed. It is simple protocols learned by doing.
I'll add that while many pagodas use informal practices, there are emerging partnerships with health organizations, especially in urban areas. These partnerships bring basic training in storage and temperature control, without changing the core cultural rhythms of offering and gratitude.
Listeners often ask about preservation.
How do pagodas avoid spoilage in heat or when donations arrive after long travel? Practical tips, please, but as a cultural note, not medical advice.
We accept fresh fruit and dry rice more readily. For perishable items, we cook them the same day. If something seems unsafe, we decline gently and explain that we will use it another way, perhaps shared with neighbors or composted for temple gardens. Respect for the food and for those who give guides those choices.
That's a great example of dignity in practice. Now, switching to memory, food carries stories. Can each of you share a personal memory tied to a particular dish that reveals why the kitchen matters beyond nutrition?
I remember a harvest feast when a neighbor brought sticky rice cooked with palm sugar. Children ran between pots laughing. An elder told the story of his wedding tied to that same sweet. Suddenly, everyone remembered relatives and songs. Food makes memory tangible.
Once during a long drought, lay people brought small amounts of fish and vegetables. The meal was plain, but we shared more stories and prayers. The act of sharing became the feast. That is the teaching. Merit is in intention and sharing, not abundance.
In field work, I saw that recipes travel with people. Diaspora cooks recreate festival sweets in city kitchens, sometimes substituting local ingredients. The dishes hold identity. They anchor rituals, even when landscapes change.
That leads us naturally into health, ethics, and sustainability. Segment 4. Rachana, you've researched respectful donation habits. What should listeners know if they want to give or accept food at a pagoda?
First, ask quietly. Some temples have guidelines like no raw meat donations or specific times to bring food. Pack things cleanly, label ingredients if possible, and avoid single-use waste. Donations that support staples, rice, oil, fish sauce, are always helpful. Most importantly, give with humility. The offering is a practice of respect, not a transaction.
If you were offered food, accept with 2 hands and say, "Thank you." If you want to donate money instead of food, tell the kitchen coordinator. Money often helps us buy what is needed and reduce waste. And please ask before you photograph people during meals. Consent matters. I'll emphasize sustainability. Many pagodas compost vegetable scraps and run small gardens. Supporting these programs helps long-term food security. And on food safety, this episode is descriptive. If you want to cook from these recipes, follow step-by-step guides on Somnong's channel, where demonstrations include safe handling tips.
Good segue to segment 5, Diaspora and Modern Adaptations. How do Khmer communities abroad recreate pagoda-fitting rituals? And what changes when ingredients differ?
Abroad, communities often stage Sunday temple lunches in community halls. They substitute local fish or frozen alternatives, and they organize volunteers through social media. The rituals remain: offerings, shared tables, and songs. These adaptations show cultural resilience and care.
I've seen diaspora kitchens teach younger generations ancestral recipes in English and Khmer. There's bilingual recipe cards, communal cooking nights, even YouTube clips. That documentation matters for cultural continuity.
When my niece lived abroad, she sent back canned substitutes and a message. "We made the porridge for the elders here. It tasted like home." That made us laugh and cry. Food makes home portable.
Segment 6. Practical Guide and CTA. Rachana, quick checklist for listeners visiting a pagoda who might be offered food or want to donate.
Short checklist. 1. Observe or ask if there is a designated offering time. 2. Bring clean, appropriately packaged donations, staples over sakes. 3. If offered food, accept respectfully and thank the giver. 4. Respect photography consent. 5. Consider monetary gifts to kitchen funds if you're unsure what to bring.
And a little tip from the kitchen: label ingredients if there are allergies, and if you donate prepared food, write when it was cooked. That small kindness helps us use things wisely. Remember the guiding spirit. Bringing food is an offering of care. When visitors participate with humility, they learn as much as they feed.
Before we close, a brief note. We asked our guests to avoid sharing identifying anecdotes without permission, and they agreed. If you share photos online, please anonymize faces or ask consent. Our aim is to celebrate these kitchens while protecting the people who sustain them.
To our audience, food here is not just about flavor, but memory, obligation, and care. We hope these stories help you read the everyday reverence in a shared bowl.
Thank you, May Kem, Venerable Te Dara, and Dr. Elena Park for sharing your time and knowledge. Where can listeners find the visual companion material and step-by-step demos we mentioned?
You can find short recipe demos and photos on Somnang's YouTube channel. Simple things you can try at home, with safe handling and local variations noted. And for those who want reading recommendations, check the show notes for a short bibliography of foodways and ritual provisioning studies.
Quick takeaway: Pagoda kitchens are living heritage. Every ladle is a lesson in generosity, adaptation, and community care.
This has been Ancient Echoes. If this episode moved you, please post a respectful photo or short clip of a temple meal, tag Ancient Echoes and Samnong's channel, and include a short caption about what the meal meant, always ensuring you have consent. We'll curate a few to share with the community.
Let's unlock the echoes of history together.